So the end result of that was an extra couple of curtain walls. I'll just finish off one more down the bottom here at the entry level. So I'll just orbit in a little bit more. So on the home menu, curtain grid, I'll put these at, I'll just see what our total, yes, okay, so there's the 2/3 of the curtain panel, and then I'll go at the midpoint of the curtain panel if I can find it. So I might have to orbit around, there we go. So there's the midpoint through there. Now I'm just having a look at these dimensions in through here. 915, if I do a double set of doors in through there, I think it might be better if that was something like a 1.5 metre at least opening for the double doors. So 1500 for that dimension. And then I'll just have a look at, oh well, we might have to work from the outside in actually. So if I just get a total, what I might do, just to make this a bit easier to work with, I might select these tilt-up panels here and then go to the sunglasses down the bottom and hide those elements. So that'll make it a little bit easier to work with. So if I was to do a, I think it's under modify to find measure, if I just want to measure, I can't measure correctly in this view. I'll just escape out of that. What I want to do is find the midpoint, say. So we'll do this from a factory floor level. I've got those two grid lines in place anyway, so from the factory floor level through here, you can, if you hover over and tab, you should be able to start picking up these grid lines somewhere. Oh, there's the curtain panel, so in around about there I've got my grid lines. And there's the next one. You just have to roll your mouse along your curtain wall, off to one side possibly. No. Okay, well there's one there anyway. Maybe if we put mullions in to start with, it might make it easier to see. So back on 3D view, I might then just go and put a couple of mullions in. Home, mullion, I'll put all the verticals in, and then we'll be able to see what we can reorientate on plan. So I'll just put the vertical mullions in for now, or it won't matter, I could put horizontals in as well. Now what I'm going to do when I put this horizontal in, this centre panel mullion, if I just go back to modify and hover over the top and tab until I pick up just that curtain mullion, I'll be able to press delete and delete that one single mullion, because it's going to be a centre door through the middle here. So I'll go back to my floor plan now and I should be able to see what's going on a little bit easier. There we go. So you can easily highlight that grid off to the side of it and that grid off to the side of it. So I'm going to now place a set of dimensions in, or even a reference plane. I might put a reference plane in first to find the centre. And I might click I'll dimension it. So back on annotate, align dimension. There's a it doesn't really matter as long as you do the same both ends, but I think I'll click the edge of that wall to the reference plane to the edge of that wall, zooming in quite enough so I know exactly what I've done, and then I'll click EQ. So that reference plane now is in the centre of the arrangement. So I might then dimension to the grid line, to the reference plane, to the grid line, and place that set of dimensions off there. And if I wanted that to be 1500 opening, I'd need 750 each side. So I can now select the grid line and change that dimension to 750, and now I can select this grid line and change that dimension to 750. I've got a 1500 opening. Okay, so I can get rid of all the dimensions then, get rid of that. I've probably unconstrained that, there's no reason for that, and I can probably even delete that reference plane, and while I'm there I'll clean up these other reference planes. I always like to keep my drawing fairly tidy and clean up reference planes whenever I possibly can. Okay, so back on our 3D view then, you can see that we've left this centre panel open a little bit. So we've got to at some stage change that centre panel into a door, and probably what we also should be doing is going back to home and placing a curtain grid along here and selecting that dimension and making it something like 2100, or if you want to make the doors higher, that'd be fine. You make them 2400 and might even try that, 2400. In my case that works nicely because I made the height of this glass curtain wall 2400, so if I was to orbit around I'm getting a nice elevation relationship between this glass curtain wall and that mullion. So going back to modify and picking up a mullion to place in there, and now you can see I've just got to set up a door in the middle of that arrangement. Okay, so I'll just we'll just stop the video at that point, and when we come back we'll set up a door in this space here.